Good evening, guys. Today we have with us Mr. Rajesh Surana, the chairman of Magnus Global School. Sir, we welcome you and we are pleased to have you here with us. Uh,
Thank
myself,
you.
Ishan Kukreja, myself, Ishan Kukreja, and my classmate Bukaria. We are studying BCom Strategic Finance Honors in Christ University, Bangalore, and we would like to have your thoughts and have you interviewed about your journey of life. So, first of all, I have heard that you have worked 25 long years in corporate. So, I would like to get to know about the journey and what made you shift to entrepreneurship.
Okay. Thank you for having me in as part of your project work. Uh, I would love to and happy to share about my journey. I have been with corporates in different sectors, different companies, and different parts of the world. I've worked there for 25 years, and as part of that, I have gained a lot of experience in terms of
Uh, so, you're not audible.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, so like because I was actually born and brought up in a like a rural urban area, right? Semi-rural, semi-urban kind of an area, and the education system which I had gone through, and when I have seen afterward also, it was I will not say backdated or outdated, but definitely not something which is progressive and focuses on a holistic education. So after working for so long years, I felt that there's something one way is to giving back to the place where I was born and brought up, and at the same time improve the quality of education. So that was my trigger point when I had basically decided saying that yes, I can continue to work and earn for myself, but what about giving back to the society to a certain extent, right? So that is where the idea came in, and based on my experience of living in different parts of the world, I had studied or I had observed the kind of education which is being imparted. So, and based on that experience, I basically felt that it is important that we should bring back, and I should also capitalize on my experience in a place where people are really not aware of what's happening in the world. So that was
Right.
the trigger point, and based on that, then I decided to move back. So it was not definitely easy. Like once you have lived in big metros and the different parts of the world, coming back to a semi-urban, semi-rural, urban area, rural area is very difficult. And also in terms of getting adjusted to the different kind of a lifestyle back again. But I think the motivation in terms of ensuring that we are able to give good or able to build a good education system was the big motivation factor for me, and that drove me to set it up. It's a both way. Definitely, one is about the giving back to the society, but at the same time, it is not a pure charitable project. Definitely, a project which is linked to the also making it big, right? So right
Hmm.
now we are around 5 years old. Not yet 5 years. We have around 1,000 students in our school. We are following CBSE board, which is a plus two affiliated already, and we have been able to establish the different mode of education here. Earlier, the
Hmm.
education here was more of rote learning and more of tuition oriented. So we actually
Right.
at least have been able to instill the idea in the people's mind that students can study without tuition, and education can also be a fun. Otherwise, education
Right.
here actually meets a lot of pressure, and the students are actually under pressure since 2 3 years of age. So what we have been able to really make, I'll say, make people understand that if a student has to undergo education at least for 18 to 20 years of their life, they cannot do it under pressure. They have to enjoy it, and so that is
Exactly.
the
Yeah, I
main
totally
motto
agree.
of ours, and that is what we are trying to basically continue. And slowly, people are understanding it. That yes, education also can be enjoyed and done at the same time.
Highly
Yeah.
appreciable.
Thank you, sir. So my next question to you is, what is the core idea behind your institute and the uniqueness about your institute?
As I told you, the core idea was to set up an institute uh, which basically brings up the in terms of education, which is the holistic education, which focuses on the overall growth of the child and not just focus on marks, right? The concept here it had been where the parents are very happy when the student scores a high percentage or secures a rank in the class. But in our
Hmm.
school, we don't believe in that because we don't believe that everybody can be a doctor or everybody can be an engineer.
Yeah, which I
So at the
understand.
same time, there had the other potential that a kid has that has to be extracted, right? So we basically provide an opportunity, not only just the curricular, but also all kind of extracurricular, and ensure that we get the best out of a child. That best may not be 99.99%, but I think it is important for us that he does the best, he gives the best, whatever he likes the most.
Okay, thank you, sir. So Ishan, can you
So,
ask the
sir,
next question?
yeah. So, next question would be, what was the most challenging hurdle you faced in establishing this institute?
Challenging hurdle, yes. Majority for the first part itself, and which I think we are still facing in terms of making people understand that education can be an enjoyable thing for a child, right? Like where a kid has to go for tuition with at least three, four teachers, even from nursery classes. And we are
Mhm.
trying to say that no, you don't need a tuition in an education system. So I think the major challenge is bringing the faith back in the school system,
Yes,
because people have believed the school is to basically register the name, and whereas the education actually happens by the tuition teachers at home or at batches. But our motto is to basically ensure that people understand that school is basically for actual education. So bringing back the faith in the school system itself has been the major challenge.
we love your ideology, sir.
Yeah.
Kunal would be next.
So, sir, the next question is, in your point of view, so an entrepreneur, how is he successful, and what kind of mentality or habits or attributes he should means, pursue?
Entrepreneur can be successful. First of all, there has to be very clear idea, very clear goal and objective defined in the beginning itself about what is the motto of of the organization, what are the goals, what are the objectives, right? Without a clear goal and a clear direction, it will definitely not be possible to become successful in the long run, right? So that clear goal and objective must be defined, and there has to be some kind of a passion which has to be involved, which will drive the entrepreneurship towards the right goal. And second thing is that you need to have the right team to support you, right? No, like venture can be successful without the right team. So you need to ensure that you have the right ingredients, which includes your team. That I think that will be the number one part of it. And second thing is the leadership directions. The Even if you have the right team, the people will always look for you to for the right direction. So you need to ensure that you're able to give them the right direction, have faith in them, have trust in them, and also ensure that they have the faith and the trust on the leadership, so that it works both way, and all taking care of each other, right? So I think those are the major ingredients for success of any enterprise.
Thank you, sir. Ishan,
Exactly, sir.
next question.
Yeah. So, my next question would be, if we want to change something in today's entrepreneurships, how the culture has become, what is that thing which you would like to change?
Yeah, are you talking about in general entrepreneurship?
Yeah, in general, in
Okay,
general.
okay, fine. See, if you talk about today, I like what I feel that people have right now really looking at in terms of the quick money kind of a thing, right? The motive of the business has to be established, but now because of this digital enterprise and lot of the internet-based businesses, everybody is thinking that entrepreneurship is very easy, and they're just jumping on without having a clear motive, right? So I think today's entrepreneurship is getting to a certain extent in the wrong direction, where people are looking for a quick money, and they are starting a business not with any objective but just to get venture capital funding, right? So okay,
Mhm.
fine, like do something, get a fund, get some some kind of an investment coming in from the high net worth individuals or the fund managers, and then continue from there. But I think what is important is to have your core of business there. If the core of business is not there, then it will be short term, it will not survive in the long run. And what we have also seen, right, a lot of businesses are just going out, and they are not able to sustain for a long term perspective. So it is important to have the right direction of the long term goal, and not a quick term objective of just getting funding and growing from there. The business has to be
Exactly.
sustainable.
True, sir.
Okay, so my next question to you is, so sir, how do you see your institute in the upcoming future? As like we have seen the pandemic from the last 2 years, we are facing the online classes. So like, is it going to be for the future? You're thinking for the online thing, or maybe it should be offline?
See, again, as I meant in the beginning itself, that education is not just study, education is just not marks, right? So online, yes, we have been doing it for last 2 years because there is no other option. But a student actually learns the most, not just from the teacher, but from the environment in a school, from
Yeah.
the fellow students in the class, how they interact, they observe each other, right? So I don't think an online education can replace the offline system at any point of time, right? But yes, when the school reopens, online education has definitely come as I will say, as an incentive for us, which we are not going to let it go. We are going to be have that online class also with us, but it's not a replacement. Offline school is a must for the growth of any child.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Even
Sir,
we
and
agree.
what are your long-term plans for the growth of the institute?
Long-term plans basically like any school in the education, the school like ours, it takes time, right? We are just 5 years old right now, and we have just started the higher secondary, the senior secondary part. So it's we have long-term goal is to just settle down. I think it is going to take maybe another uh, 3 to 4 years for us to completely settle down, and after that we'll be looking up for the higher education beyond the school into the college, so that there is a end-to-end path that we're able to provide to the students. Because if you just give a good education till senior secondary, and after that there's not a
Hmm.
continuity in their college education, this will not help them, right? So definitely we're
True.
looking at even to go into the next level, go up the value chain, and give the students a complete like a KG to PG kind of a model.
Mhm. True, sir.
Okay,
Sir, and
so
how do you see the concept of leadership and how significant you think it is in everyone's life?
See, I don't think there's a question about absence of leadership, but the in terms of whether without leadership somebody can succeed, right? Leadership is there. Leadership is there in every part of our life, in everything that we do. Our leadership, the traits comes into the picture. Correct. So you need to anybody who would like to be succeed in whatever they're doing, the leadership skills are required. And leadership is not about leading a team at all point of time, right? Leadership is something that whatever decision you take with conviction. Whatever decision you take with data in your hand, with a in terms of ensuring that yes, you're going in the right direction. So leadership is there. Leadership is required. Leadership is required to just move ahead in life.
So, do you have some favorite leader or someone you look up to?
I will not say that I idolize any particular leader as such in that matter, right? I look for traits. I look for traits in different leaders in different aspects. So whatever the actions that I like, and I feel that yes, this was a good decision, that this is the good approach that a leader has taken in a particular scenario, I look forward to those. So I don't have any particular leader whom I really follow as such. And I think the
Good.
world has gone, like the world of business itself has gone so big, and the business has also expanded in a different manner, that today you need to really look at the different aspects in different leaders,
Mm.
which you can never become one. You can never have all the traits in yourself, but at least you need to learn from the different things that different people are doing. Okay.
Yeah, so this is
Yes.
the last question for the interview. So, like, would you like to leave a message for the young entrepreneurs and how they should invest in this field?
My message will be that again, like, be focused on what you are doing, and have a target of what you're trying to do. Don't run behind quick money, right? Don't come into entrepreneurship with a very narrow objective. You need to look at the wider aspect and see how you are really going to grow something. And whatever business you do, at the end of it, you should also have to have a look at some kind of a societal impact of that business, not just work for money.
Uh, One more question, sir. We also have an entrepreneurship cell in our university, and I'm a part of the team. So, any
Mhm.
suggestions for us how we should guide the people or bring in people, or what idea should we give to them, or how do we help them to grow?
Uh, When you're talking about entrepreneurship sale in a university, like you're talking about where they are looking at different ideas and turning those ideas into business.
Yes, sir. We connect the ideas to the investors. Like the
Okay.
people who have idea, we connect them to the real investors, and
Mm-hmm.
if they are interested, they can invest in like Shark Tanks.
Yes, I
No,
can.
exactly. I was thinking of we're talking about Shark Tank only, but I think Shark Tank has gone too far off at this point of time. Anyway, I think
Yeah.
it is important again, as I told you, like to evaluate the future growth, to evaluate the impact of what is being done. Right.
Mhm.
Now, if you look at
Right.
the different kind of entrepreneurs that are even coming into Shark Tank, you find that many of the businesses are actually not sustainable, right?
Yeah.
And there can be, and as you know, people say that like 100 ideas can actually result into one good business. So it is not
True.
about just having an idea. It is also need to look at, is that idea can be converted into a business model? Idea and
Mm.
business model are two different aspects. You need to look at, can I convert an idea into a business model, right? And then that business model, can it be profitable in a long run? Right? So
Mm.
I can have some dream in my mind, but not every dream can turn into a good business model. And sometimes when you run behind those dreams without a particular goal, we actually make ourselves a failure. So you need to have that boundary drawn between your dream and the profitable business idea.
Correct. So, sir, we would like to thank you for your time and your wonderful insights. Uh,
Thank you.
it was a great honor to have you with us.
Sure, sure. You're most
Thank you.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for having with us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
I will leave.
Yeah, yes, sir.